Welcome back to another video, guys. We've had some of you ask for a follow along for all the daily stretches or my little routine that I do for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and just general flexibility as well. So I thought I'm going to show it to you. It's going to be 7 exercises. They're arguably going to be some of the 7 exercises that you will need for the rest of your life to become reasonably flexible. In this video, I'm going to talk you through how to do each exercise, and then we're going to do a follow through. You will see that I'm only showcasing the variations and progressions that I use personally. So if you're not as flexible as I am, make sure to watch the other videos in the comment section below so that you can actually look up how to regress or progress the variations. So first we're going to start standing up, and then you're going to need a flat wall like the one behind me, and that's all you need. You don't really need any other equipment. So the first stretch we're going to do is a forward fold from yoga, really, where we want to stand with our toes pointing straight ahead. From here, we want to make sure that we just bend over from the hips and leaning forwards. It doesn't matter if your back is not straight or anything like that, but what I want to do here now is grab the back of my shins or your calf muscles. You want to try to keep your knees as straight as possible, but if you get a slight bend like this, that is totally fine. From here, you're going to grab, you're going to pull your spine down, and then you're going to start straightening out your legs until you feel a good stretch in your hamstrings. When you're here, we're going to breathe in and out 5 times. A big deep breath, hold, exhale, hold your breath, then I'm going to breathe back in again. And every time I exhale, I'm going to use my hands to pull myself a bit lower. The next stretch we're going to do, we're going to need the wall for the next 2 stretches actually. The first one is a quad stretch. So I'm going to slide my foot up against the wall behind me. I'm going to walk my foot out in front of me. So what I'm doing here is that my foot is flat up against the wall. I walk this foot away from me here, and I'm going to push myself into the wall with my front leg, and I'm going to squeeze my bum to push my quad off the wall in this way. It's very important when I stand up against the wall that I'm not leaning backwards. I'm staying nice and tall with the top of my head going to the ceiling, and I try to tuck my rib cage down like so. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put our foot up against the wall or any other variation, walk my foot forwards, push myself into the wall with this leg, squeeze my bum, push my hip forwards, and making sure that I'm nice and straight, not arching backwards like so. And I'm going to breathe, hold my breath, exhale, and you get the gist. Then, once we've done that, we're going to swap sides. And you always start on the side that's the least flexible. From here, my foot is already in position. I'm pushing myself back. I squeeze my bum, pushing my hip forwards. Top of my head to the ceiling. And breathe. Nice and simple. The third exercise we're going to do is a butterfly stretch. So here, it's very, very important that my lower back and my bum is up against the wall, and so are my shoulders and the back of my head. From here, I'm going to push my feet together the whole time. This one is a bit different. So I'm going to press down nice and gentle on my knees. From here, I'm going to press up against my hands with my knees for 10 seconds. At 10 seconds, I'm going to relax and push my knees further down. I'm going to do this 5 times. Squeeze. 10 seconds. Push them down and relax. Squeeze. 10 seconds. Push them down and relax. 5 times. From here, you scoot yourself off the wall. I'm going to point my wrist forwards with my fingers behind me and away from me. I'm going to walk my feet close to my bum, and I'm going to imagine pinching a $2 coin with my shoulder blades. and I have to hold that pinch the whole time. When I'm here, I'm going to bridge up and move myself backwards over my hands, and I'm going to hold this here. Always pinching my shoulders together, tucking my head. And I'm just going to hold this for 5 deep and long breaths. When I'm done with this stretch, the next stretch is my pigeon stretch. So here, you've probably done this before in yoga. We have a lot of different variations. But from here, I'm going to bring my foot in. I'm going to rotate my back hip towards the ground, so I'm not off to the side here. And I want to make sure that my shoulders and my shin bone are on the same angle. When I'm here, I'm going to use my hands just to support myself up. You can push on your knee if you want to. It's very important here that you're pointing your toes and the bottom of your foot up towards the ceiling. So you can see how I'm kind of lifting my foot off the ground like so, and I'm squeezing my bum on my rear leg. And I'm just going to hold this position for 5 long breaths before I then start moving over to the other side. And if there are side to side differences here, you start on the side that is the tightest. Again, knee down to the ground, pointing my toes and my foot up to the sky, making sure that I'm squared off so I'm not falling off to the side. If you're falling off to the side, maybe you can use some books or a box or something to push on with the same side hand, just to make sure that you're staying square. Once I've done that stretch, I'm going to move into my 2 final stretches. One is a child's pose with reach from yoga, and then I'm going to do some stretches for my wrists. So from here, I'm going to be flat on my feet if I can, just like so. Walk my knees slightly out to the side. From here, I'm literally just going to come down in what we call a child's pose. So I'm sitting onto my heels, I've got my forehead on the ground, and I'm going to start walking my hands in front of me as far as I can. Once I've walked as far as I can, I'm going to start walking over to the side. This is where a lot of people start coming up. That's a big mistake. You want to stay down with your spine, and with the hand that's closest to the middle, I'm going to keep walking that hand away. Keep reaching and walking. The other hand stays still. When I'm here, I'm in position. I'm going to breathe in, hold, exhale, walk further. And then once I've done that 5 times, I'm going to come over to the other side and do the same. Breathe. 5 times, then walk back to the middle, and then you move into the very final stretch, which is for my wrists. So I'm going to have this position here on the ground. Make 2 fists, thumbs on the outside, not on the outside, not on the inside. Knuckles together, and it's going to be a few different contractions here. So I'm going to find a position first where I feel a good stretch. So I'm going to come down here, elbows flat, fists together, just like so. When I'm in this position here, I'm first going to start coming up. So I'm not opening my fists, they're still staying closed, but now I can feel a good stretch. You can see that I don't have very flexible wrists, but we're working on it. What I need to do first, I'm going to push my fists together for 10 seconds. If I count to 10, 9, 8, 9, 10, and then I'm going to relax them and I'm going to push further up without my wrists leaving the ground. Now I'm going to do another movement. I'm going to imagine flexing my wrist off the ground. So I'm going to use my forearm muscles to lift my wrist off the ground ever so slightly. So we're here, I lift, 5 seconds, relax and push further up. So I'm going to push, 10 seconds together, relax, and then I'm going to push 5 seconds, flexing my forearm, my Popeye, and I'm going to relax and I'm going to go again. At the very end, I'm going to open my fist up, so I'm like so. And then I'm going to stretch further, coming up. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take you through one round now that we've done all 7 stretches. Then you follow along, and then you just continue doing this every single day. As you're going to see, it won't take long. I want you to do between 1 to 4 rounds, depending on how much time you have. And you can do this before training, just at home, just whenever you want to, for whatever reason. Cool? So, let's go. Let's reset. First exercise, I'm going to take 5 big deep breaths for every single exercise before I move on to the next. Very simple, nothing hard to remember. Then swap sides because we're doing it on the side. Same position. There we go. Then we're going to do butterfly. Soles of the feet together. Now remember, we're going to push up against my hands for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax and press down for 5. And then we're going to squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax for 5. One last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Push down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very simple. Scoot yourself out, fingers backwards, wrists forwards, shoulder blades together, bridge and hold, always shoulder blades together. 5 big deep breaths. We're going to do pigeon, 5 big deep breaths. Start from your tight side first. Get into position, square off, and breathe. same thing. Then we're going to do child's pose. Again, 5 breaths per side. Onto your heels, down, walk forwards, walk to one side first. From here, reach forwards with the arms closest to the middle. Big deep breaths. Side. And the final wrist stretch. On all 4, elbows and wrists flat, wrists together, and then come up. Press your wrists together for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl your wrists up for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and move higher up, straighten the elbows. Wrists together for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl your wrists up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, push further up. Wrists together for 10. This is the last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl wrists up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go of your fingers, open them up, and push further up. Hold. You can put a bit of weight on them if you want to. I'm going to hold for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very simple, guys. We started with a forward fold. We had the quad stretch to the wall, then butterfly, and we had the tabletop position for our chest and shoulders before we went into pigeon for our hips, and then we had the position where we're doing our lats on the side. I just forgot the name. Boom. And of course we had our wrist stretch at the very end. Simple follow along. I hope it's what you need. It's time effective. You can adjust how hard you do it, how long you do it for, but now we use breaths and different contractions. It's very simple. If you have any questions, pop them below and we'll get back to you.